Robert E. Howard wrote The Frost Giant's Daughter as the earliest story in Conan's life. It depicts a raw, young Cimmerian mercenary in the frozen north of Nordheim, struggling to survive the aftermath of a brutal border war between the Aesir and Vanir. Originally rejected by Weird Tales magazine in 1932, it was eventually published in 1934 under the title The Gods of the North, with the hero renamed Amra of Akbitana. It wasn't officially published as a Conan story until 1953. The Frost Giant's Daughter is a foundational piece in the Conan the Barbarian mythos, and its appearance in Marvel's Savage Tales of Conan the Barbarian #1 from August 1971 marked a significant moment in the character's comic book history. As the story begins, the scene opens on a desolate, silent battlefield in Nordheim. The sky is a flat, oppressive gray. Bodies of Aesir and Vanir warriors litter the snow, frozen in their final moments. Conan is the only soul left standing, wounded, gasping, and delirious from battle and the extreme cold. The battle was a quintessential Nordheim conflict, a brutal, localized clash between two warring factions of the north. Conan was fighting alongside the Aesir, the Reavers of Wolfheer. They are described as the golden-haired warriors of the north. In Howard's lore, the Aesir are typically associated with strength and raw power. Conan's opponents are the Vanir, or the Wolves of Bragi. They are the red-haired warriors. They are just as fierce, battle-hardened, and tribal as the Aesir. As Conan stands alone on the frozen battlefield, a silvery, almost impossible laugh cuts through the howling wind. Conan pulls his gaze from the carnage and sees her, Atali. She is starkly beautiful, moving effortlessly across the treacherous ice and snow. She is an apparition of life in an environment of hopelessness and despair. Driven by confusion and exhaustion, Conan begins to chase Atali. Their pace is frantic and dreamlike. He stumbles through snowdrifts, loses his senses, focused solely on the fleeting vision of the ethereal figure just out of reach. As the chase continues, the cold intensifies, and Conan loses his perception of reality. The environment becomes increasingly distorted. Conan pushes through, driven by raw will, using every ounce of his superior mental and physical strength. Atali stops, no longer running. She turns to face Conan. Her demeanor shifts from coy to cruel. She taunts him as the snow erupts. Her two giant armor brothers, the sons of Ymir, emerge from the ice. They are determined to crush him. Despite his exhaustion, Conan taps into a primal, almost inhuman reserve of strength. He fights a brutal, claustrophobic battle against the giants, driven by the sheer grit of his survival instinct. Having survived the giants, Conan finally closes the distance on Atali. Just as he reaches for her, the air turns arctic and blinding. A deep rumble of thunder sounds in the distance, like a massive war chariot racing across the sky. It signals that Ymir has scooped her up and carried her into the higher icy heavens. The god Ymir descends, a towering, titanic presence that renders the physical world trivial. Atali vanishes, and Ymir's presence forces Conan to collapse. He is left entirely alone in the vast, silent expanse of the north. The encounter leaves Conan with a lingering sense of insignificance. After his desperate, exhausting confrontation with the sons of Ymir and the subsequent flash of blue light that vanished Atali, Conan is left utterly drained. He collapses into the snow, his adrenaline failing. The cold begins to seep into his very marrow. His Aesir companions, the war party he had been fighting alongside, eventually track him down. They find him lying unconscious amid the carnage of the battlefield. When they rouse him, he is disoriented and delirious, his mind still reeling from the impossible encounter. As he comes to, Conan begins to recount the tale to his companions. They dismiss his story as a fever dream, brought on by exhaustion and the delirious effect of the northern cold. Then, Conan provides physical evidence that silences their laughter. He is still clutching a shred of Atali's garment in his hand. Well, gang, that's my first lore video. I hope you liked it. Please give some feedback in the comments, and if you like this type of video, this type of content, I'll make more. It was a lot of work, so I hope you liked it. Thank you and good night.